Today we're going to be taking a look at the Stellar T3 by QRD, a company that I have to admit I am not familiar with at all. But they did recently reach out to me via email asking if I would review this controller. Having said that, I want you all to know I am going to be 100% honest. If there is anything I like about this controller, I will say it. If there is anything I dislike, I will also say it. This will be an honest review. I'm not making any money out of it. All I got is a controller. That's it. Now, I have had the luxury of reviewing many other controllers in the past, several of them for the Switch. But this is my first time ever reviewing two controllers in one. This controller serves the function of Joy-Cons. It will go either side of the Switch, or you can play it as pictured on the box, as a joint whole device. Now, without further ado, let's get it out of the box. Well, the first thing I have to say is it is huge! This thing is massive! I mean, if you compare it to the last Switch controller I did a video of, yeah, that's quite different. Now, first of all, I'm just going to focus on the feel of the controller, and I have to say, it is actually quite a good size. I've done so many videos for smaller controllers, alright, not all as tiny as the last one we looked at, but I have shovel hands, so having a big controller is something I've always needed. And this could be it for the size. I mean, it feels very good. And the buttons, I have to say, let's focus on how the buttons feel. Shoulder buttons with the lightest of touches. So light. And listen. Incredibly light touch, slightly clicky. Doesn't bother me, might bother some people, but not me. The action buttons, nice low amount of resistance. They don't feel like I have to push them too hard. Not like a recent controller I did a video for. Analog sticks. Good amount of feel. Smooth movement. Smooth. Nice. D-pad. Bit of click. But not bad. Feels good. What about the individual controllers? Remember, this is two controllers. As you can see here, this is how they're supposed to be on either side of the Switch. These are the things I never like. These extra buttons you have on the back. I don't even know anyone that ever uses them on controllers, so as far as I'm concerned in this review, I'm just going to ignore them like I do with every other controller. The centerpiece is nothing more than a piece of plastic. It doesn't do anything. If you think about the dog-eared controller for the Nintendo Switch, it serves the same purpose. It does nothing except connect the controllers and has the ability to show that they are synchronized. As I slide the controllers back together, I have to say there is no problems with resistance. That too is nice and smooth. Here's something that makes me worry a little bit. Two charging ports. It would have been really nice if there was a way to just have one charge port to charge both at the same time, but no. If I want to charge them, I have to do so individually. Unless they charge when plugged either side of the Switch. This is a test we will do in just a second. Look at the size of this. It feels huge! I mean, it really feels huge. Not bad. It feels weird. I mean, it feels good, but it feels weird. So first of all, let's just focus on the fact that it does work perfectly well. Everything's synchronized. The controllers joined with the Switch the instant I slid them on. I didn't even have to go into controller pairing. It was that easy. I really like that. One thing I should point out in case no one's realized this yet, if you decide to get this controller, the Switch will no longer fit in your normal carrying case. You'll need something special for that. In addition to all your normal buttons, you have some extras. You have, yes, the ones on the back, but you also have turbo buttons. Not only do these do turbo, but they can change the color of the controller's lights. I'll show you more on that in a second. Also, the controller comes with a replaceable D-pad, a different styled one. I hate these style of D-pads, so I'm not going to use it. If you prefer them, it's there. If you don't, then you've got a thing you're never going to use. Now then, focusing on the colors, you can change them by pressing the turbo button and pushing in the analog stick. That'll change the colour several times over. There's quite a selection of colours, and you don't have to have the different ones on each side, as you've probably figured out. You can have pink on one side, orange on the other, whatever you like, or yes, you can have them the same, whatever you prefer. If you hold the turbo button and double tap with the analog stick, you can get the controller to breathe from one colour to another. This is a really cool feature. I have no idea what it would be doing to the charge of the controller. I don't think it would be helping it, but I don't think it would do it a hell of a lot of damage. Not to mention, of course, if you're playing in handheld mode with these either side, it doesn't matter. As for the back of the controller, I want to point out this textured look inside here is a sort of rubber. It feels good, feels absolutely fine in fact, but because it's rubber, it makes me wonder if it's going to wear down over time like some old Xbox controllers used to do. If I play with this controller a lot, consistently, and have a lot of hand movement, like playing a fighting game perhaps, it's going to wear out, I think. Now, to test out the different parts of this controller, the different types of buttons and whatnot, I decided to play different types of games to test it. For the analog sticks, I decided to try Xenocrisis. I have to say, they are indeed very smooth and work really well. And in order to test the action buttons, and indeed torture myself a little bit, I decided to try them out on a Hatsune Miku game. As you can see, I am terrible. But that's not due to the controller, I just suck. Whilst playing the Hatsune Miku game, I noticed the rumble for the first time. Seemed to function absolutely fine and made less noise than a normal Joy-Con, which is pretty good because those things are loud. For the shoulder buttons, I decided to test it out on Wood Guy Jr., a mini-game on Arcade Paradise that requires solely the use of these buttons. And the rumble really comes into action here. And there you have it. That was the Stellar T3 by QRD. I have to say, a really nice controller. It feels great, it's a decent size. It makes my Switch feel 100 times bigger when I have it either side of the system. The Hall Effect joysticks, so good. When playing Xenocrisis, I just lost myself in the game. They really do work well. And the LED lights, how can you not love that? The turbo buttons, while not shown in this video, they are programmable, so if that's something you're interested in, there it is. There is also programmable macro, not something I really need when using it on a Nintendo Switch, but it is there if you want it. For any more tech specs and details such as that about this controller, you can find them in the video's description. And while you're there, you can also find a discount code in case you decide you want to purchase it. And to save you a bit of time, if you can't be bothered to click the description, yes, you can connect to a PC and a smartphone, but it can only be done directly via Bluetooth. Whereas, as you can see, connecting to the Switch, piece of cake. Slide it on either side and it's done. I personally really like this controller and do recommend it. The only thing that I could complain about is the rubber at the back of the controller. It makes me feel like it would wear out after time, but it would be after a lot of time, and it's not really a big deal. The controller will still function afterwards. Check out the company website also in the description if you want to find out more that you can't find on this video. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please click like or leave a comment, and if you want to support the channel, please click subscribe. It really does help. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.